video is all about the double bottom reversal pattern, and I'll be using the Tesla chart to go through this. I'll also be covering Virgin Galactic and ViacomCBS, both of which reported earnings this week. I hope you find this useful. Check this out. So the first time I noted there was a potential double bottom on Tesla was on the 24th of June, and you can see this here when I posted this on my Twitter feed with the timestamp. Now let's go over what a double bottom is. So a double bottom is a reversal pattern where price retests a prior low without breaching it. The fact that price can't breach a prior low suggests there's demand there for buyers to jump in. This is usually the first sign of a low, and a reversal is likely. Now I also noted that price was looking to break through trendline resistance. This further emphasized that price is now having a change in momentum. All of a sudden, a trend change attracts new buyers. Those that are bearish or short have to reconsider their view, so they may exit, further squeezing the price higher. What you had last week was Tesla confirming its breakout. After 4 weeks of consolidation and basing, you can see that week after week, price trying to retest that trend line, seeing if price will breach back below it, but it held week after week. And last week, we had the push through, and that push came towards the resistance level of 694, which held strongly last week. But what we've got now is price breaking through that this week, with price now looking to retest 750, 754 area. There's also a bunch of analysts which are bullish on the stock, which may also be giving it some momentum to the upside. Check this headline out. Analysts at Piper Sandler really like the stock and think it's going up by another 70%. Their price target is $1,200. Now you might think $1,200 for Tesla when it's currently trading around just over $700 might seem crazy, or you might think that's sensible. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what Piper Sandler thinks the price target is, or what I think the price target is. What's important is when you place the trade, you have a target in mind. If that target doesn't get hit, you also have a target on the downside, so that you have a stop in place should the price breach a level where you're not comfortable with. That way you're managing both upside and downside. Let's now have a look at the stocks that reported earnings this week. To start off with Virgin Galactic. So they reported earnings, reporting a loss of 56 million in Q2 with expectations of a loss of 55.9 million. Revenue came in at 571,000, and that was coming from scientific research experiments on board its May space flight test. A couple of other things to note from the earnings release. So the big news that came out from the earnings was that Virgin Galactic has reopened ticket sales with prices starting from $450,000 per seat. So that suggests that next quarter revenue is likely to increase from what they reported this quarter, because even selling 2 tickets will be more than what they earned this quarter. The other thing to note was the share sale that they announced, $500 million worth. So it looks like the company has completed this in the quarter. As you can see here in the earnings release, the cash and cash equivalents increased by 500 million. They raised 500 million through the sale of common stock and issued 13.7 million shares at an average price of $36.39. So for bulls, that's good news, because this dark cloud that was hanging on about how much of that share sale would be in this quarter, it looks like they've completed that fully, which is what led to the fall in price last month. Now looking at the technicals, following the release of the quarterly earnings, Space is currently trading just over 3% in pre-market, with price looking to open above the 31.90 level. Now if price can close above this level, this would be a positive. There are obstacles in the way, with key technical moving averages acting as major resistance around 33.20 and 34. But the first hurdle will be to see if price can close above 31.90. If price remains sluggish and around the 200-day, we could see another bout of selling. So keep an eye on that. So Viacom was another that reported earnings this week. It reported earnings of 97 cents earnings per share, which beat estimates by 1 cent. Revenue came in at 6.56 billion. again beating expectations of 6.49 billion. Streaming outperformed, with Paramount Plus adding 6 million subscribers for a second straight quarter. And you can see what it did to the share price. The share price did pop on the news. Now looking at the technicals, Viacom broke trendline support on Tuesday with price hitting a low of around 38. However, following the earnings release, price rebounded and is now not only looking to break back above, but also break higher above key technical moving averages. If price can close above 41.80 on the week, the 200-day at 45.30 then becomes the focus. What this chart shows is the speculative nature leading up to earnings. Those that sold it on Tuesday either covered quickly or are now underwater, which is why taking a big position ahead of earnings is risky. Finally, before I wrap up, I want to give an update on NEO. NEO reported its July deliveries this week, showing a jump by 124.5% year on year. In terms of the technicals, NEO has reclaimed key technical moving averages this week, putting in a bullish consolidation for a break higher. It's held the 200-day throughout the week, which is also a positive. Now, the volatility and whipsaw that we saw last week from the China headlines does look like it was to shake out some of the weaker long positions because the chart remains constructive. You can see the bottoming tail here in the weekly chart that was created in last week's candle, highlighting this further. The bias firmly remains to the upside with the first target of around 47 and 47.50. So there you have it, a double bottom in Tesla plus an update on some of the other key stocks that I've been watching. Thanks again for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. And I'll see you at the next one.